Good morning. It is Monday and I am off to work, but there is a topic that I wanted to cover, which is why INTJs are attracted to ENFPs. I've seen this topic come up a little bit on the opposite side of the spectrum on why ENFPs like INTJs. So I thought, why not do a perspective on the opposite side, because I myself have been married to an ENFP for over 23 years now. So this is why I like ENFPs. Number one, I'd have to say their raw emotion I'd have to say that their raw emotion is probably the number one attracting factor. And the spectrum of emotion, because I believe that the INTJ is not as adept at reading other people's emotions, and because the ENFP is so dramatic in all of their reactions, it's actually kind of easier for an INTJ to know what an ENFP is going through, or like in the way that they're communicating their emotional state. And so that was the other thing is that the ENFP is actually very similar to the INTJ, but at the same time the exact opposite. So everything about an ENFP is like an INTJ turned inside out. So whatever the INTJ is on the inside, that's what the ENFP is on the outside. So essentially, people accuse the INTJ of not being emotional, not being expressive. But the reality is that on the inside, we feel like an ENFP. We have that range of emotion on the inside. We just do not have the mechanism to, react as an ENFP does. So in that way, we admire the ENFP, because without any effort on their part, they are able to just automatically, subconsciously react to their emotions. I should say that without thinking, they are able to make the connection between their emotions and their actions. So all of their conscious thinking is emotional. I would have to say most of all of their thinking is emotional. So on the opposite end, the INTJ is most of their thinking is conscious thinking in regard to making a value judgment. So, one of the reasons that, well, let me just flip this around real quick. One of the reasons that the ENFP loves the INTJ, and this is from an INTJ point of view, and I believe it's because they cannot read the emotions of an INTJ as well as they can read it from most other individuals. Because an ENTJ is very adept at reading their external environment. They're constantly looking at the faces of other people to see what they're feeling. And their intuition is based on their consolidating of ideas from the world around them. And what is the world around them telling them? What is it speaking to them? You know, what are the signs that they see? And that's why, as an INTJ, I'm attracted to the fact that the ENFP, they see more miracles in life. So they have the gift of actually experiencing more miracles in the moment. See, that's a big thing with them, in the moment. It's something my wife is constantly telling me is be in the moment. So I do my best to try and do that, but she was born that way, and and I strive to be that way. At the same time, I tell her, don't always be so connected to everything around you. You know, have the ability to disconnect from the world. And, so there's a healthy balance of individuality and being connected. And So the ENFP has, I believe, when they see the INTJ, they see somebody who stands out from amongst other individuals because they're not expressing emotion and they're not so easy to read. And I think that sets the ENFP at ease because they are so busy figuring out everybody else's emotions that sometimes it helps when they could be around a person that they don't know what's going on in their head all the time. Because most ENFPs, can read somebody like a book. They know exactly what they're going through. And that's really interesting too, because a lot of people wouldn't think this, but the INTJ is very good at reading individuals and what they're going through as well. Because we have that, what do you call it? Those would kind of like be the subdominant characteristics, in that we're very similar to the ENFP in that we are reading everybody. We're just not as adept at emotionally being conscious of their emotions. We may know instinctively what to do as an INTJ around certain people, but not really understand why. So, but the ENFP, I think that they're set at ease because they find somebody who they can have a mystery. There could be a mystery about what they're feeling. They don't know what's going on in the mind of an INTJ all the time, and that sets them at ease. It's almost like a respite for them, that they don't have to do that. Now, at the same time, it can also be a source of frustration in a relationship. But if two individuals love each other, they come to accept each other for who they are. You know, God grant me the serenity to accept, give me the courage to change the things that I can, and allow me to accept those things which I cannot change, right? We cannot change our dominant core of who we are. You know, we can do our best to develop the skills of each other, and that's why we are attracted to each other, because we are almost attracted to that which we do not have. You know, the very core personality traits that we admire in others, that we do not even have developed in a stronger sense in our own personalities. We are drawn to those individuals because then we become one. We become a whole. You know, in marriage, the sum is greater than the parts. You know. So anyway, this is my thought on why INTJs are attracted to ENFPs. Number one, they are, in essence, they are like, they have the childish beauty of raw emotion. So while they can be very joyful and very excited, they can sink down into the depths of sorrow. But the greater the sorrows they experience, those valleys produce such greater mountain heights of joy. And so the INTJs are, I guess, very attracted to that raw emotion, because they seek that in their own external world. So God bless everyone, and keep seeking truth. And I look forward to my next video.